First of all, thank you very much. I hope you can all hear me. I'm not going to use the microphone because I can't turn a page and hold the microphone and speak and read at the same time. But I'll see how this goes. I'm going to read an extract of my story, Sanka Set, which appears in the latest issue of Gorse. For those who haven't read it or want to get their hands on a copy, I hope there's some still for sale over there. If it's gone, I can sell this one to you for a very, very high price. So I'll give this a go. It is just an extract, so I think when I read at the Dublin launch, I think I forgot to mention that part and people thought it was the full story. And Susan had to step in and remind them that there was half the story still to go. So this is Sanka Set. I, she, he, I check on the way in. I check the hallway to make sure no one is around. I take the key from my inside pocket and unlock the door. I step through and close it behind me. Only when I hear the soft click of the lock engaging do I turn on the light. I know where the light switch is. I know not to walk too far into the room. I know where to stand to ensure I don't disturb anything. I close my eyes to avoid the sharp glare of the single bulb switching on in the small dark space. I quickly look around, making sure everything is where it should be. A small room they never knew what to do with. The cleaners dump whatever they need up here so they don't have to carry brushes, a vacuum cleaner, tins of paint, and rolls of disposable towels wrapped in plastic up from the ground floor every time. But all they do is vacuum the hallway once a week, so everything is as it was the last time. I listen to the hallway outside. I don't hear a thing. I take out the collapsible stool and television tray hidden behind the rolls of paper towels and set them up. The cable is hung behind a waste pipe and I draw it out. I take the laptop from my bag and start it up, connecting the cable while the fan starts. Even after cleaning it, the fan is too loud, but I know it can't be heard from the hallway. I've checked. I sit on the stool and watch the screen come to life. The icons appear and disappear as everything loads. When it's ready, I click the icon in the middle of the screen. A small window appears with lines of code before it disappears and the screen goes blank. No, the screen doesn't go blank. I can see the dim shape of the room. The screen goes dim because the lights are off in the room. I check my watch. I still have time. I take the memory stick from my inside pocket and slot it into the laptop. I move the pointer and click on the green button in the bottom middle of the screen and a timer starts. I give it 20 seconds. I always give it 20 seconds. I minimize the screen, showing me the room in the dim light, open the media player, find the file and press play. The screen fills with the same image of the dim room again. The counter moves through the 20 seconds and then stops. I close the media player and bring the screen back up, showing the dim room. I wait. I lean back against the piles of paper towels wrapped in plastic and I wait. I see a light come on in the room and I click the green button in the bottom middle of the screen. She's the first to arrive. She's the first to come into the room. She switches on the light in the room and walks over to the window. She peeks out, turns to say something back into the other room and continues to look out the window. She doesn't look in my direction. She doesn't look in the direction of the air vent in the corner of the room. She doesn't look in the direction of the air vent in the corner of the room above the window with the camera angle behind it to take in her and everything else in the room. The camera angle to take in her, the chest of drawers, the two upholstered chairs, the bed and the bedside lockers. She turns to say something back into the other room again, but it looks like she's distracted by something going on outside. He walks into the room holding a couple of glasses. He says something to her and she turns back to face him. He says something funny and she laughs, taking a drink. He wanders comfortably around the room, straightens the corner of the bed, but goes to stand beside her looking outside as well. I watch from my room. She looks out the window. He looks out the window. He nods his head at something she says. He and she at the bottom of the screen, looking out the window closest to the air vent on the camera. I watch. He unbuttons the jacket of his suit. He removes the jacket and drapes it over one of the chairs. He nearly spills his wine doing it. She hasn't removed her coat yet. She lets him remove her coat as soon as he puts his glass aside. She accepts what must be his compliments over her choice of dress and the way she's wearing her hair. She brings her hand up to her neck as he says something. He has a closer look at her necklace and she laughs. I imagine the conversation watching the two of them from above. I hear a car horn out from outside. I watch her reaction. She had been speaking to him but glances outside when she hears the horn. I notice a short delay in my hearing it and her reacting to it. I look at the timer. I know I've plenty of space to record. He takes her glass on his own and moves into the other room. I wait. He returns and he's unbuttoning his shirt. He's already removed his shoes. She doesn't move. She's still looking out the window, but I can see her face. She knows he's approaching. Lips move as they continue to talk. He finishes unbuttoning his shirt and pulls it out of his trousers. He approaches her and presses his body to her. He puts his arms around her waist and kisses the back of her neck. She angles her head to one side and smiles. She mutters something and he moves his head to nibble her ear. I check my watch. She turns and places her hand on his chest. She moves forward, backing him towards the bed. He smiles and places his hands on her hips. He falls back on the bed with his legs dangling over the edge. She stands over. I scratch my nose as the dust mote passes across the screen, the only other thing I can see against the glow of the laptop. She climbs on the bed and straddles him. She kisses him. She kisses him deeply. He wraps his arms around her. He tries to unzip her dress. She takes his arms and presses them over his head into the bed. She pins him in place and continues to kiss him. She starts to move down his body. She kisses his chest. She scratches her hands across his stomach. She looks him in the eye as she unzips his trousers. She takes him in her mouth. He raises his head to look. He raises his head to watch. He stretches his head back on the bed and gently places a hand on the back of her head. I watch. I watch her sucking off. I watch him arch his back. I watch her moving her head with her own rhythm. I watch her take her time to tease. I watch him try to watch. I watch his legs move as she builds them up. I watch him stroke her head. I watch. He moves. He says something. She stops. She lifts her head. He must be asking her to move. She moves up beside him on the bed. She lies beside him. She kisses him. He kisses her. He kisses her deeply. He maneuvers his arms around her and this time unzips her dress. She sits up and takes off her dress and lets it drop to the floor. He pulls off his trousers from around his ankles and kicks off his socks. He's in a hurry. She lies back beside him in just her underwear. He takes off her bra and kisses each of her breasts. I watch. She lies back in the bed with her head on the pillows. He moves from her breasts to her stomach. He kisses her stomach. He moves lower as he removes her panties. He slides her panties off and stretches them to let them fly across the room. They only make it as far as the end of the bed. She laughs. He goes down on her. He places one hand on her stomach and another on one of her breasts. His head doesn't move. She runs her hands through his hair. She arches her neck and presses her head back into the pillow. I watch. I watch her legs wrap around him. I watch him gently move his head up and down. I watch her clasp his head tighter. I watch her convulse in 1, 2 quick jerks. I watch her lift her head up from the pillow and fold her arms around him. I watch her hold him tightly as the last shudders leave her body. He lifts himself up and kisses her. He lifts himself up and kisses her as he gently pushes her back down onto the bed. She holds her arms around him. He moves on top of her. He moves into her. I watch. Thank you.
Thank you, Colm. I think we're going to add you to the hashtag on Twitter that's genital realism. Okay. Second reader is Living with